so I'm going to share on productivity tools for non-profits. So as a non-profit, I'm going to share with you how to balance your non-profit and personal life. So we are entering into 2021, and then there is a need to plan the activities for the coming year. The most part of 2020 was taken up by the pandemic, so we didn't have a lot of non-profit activities. So we're entering into 2021. We need to be very productive so we can engage our non-profit and accomplish all our goals. So the agenda for this presentation will be, I'm going to give an introduction on what productivity is. Then I'm going to share some productivity tips, then some productivity tools, then some management tips that you can use to manage your time. Then finally, we conclude with questions. All right, so someone may ask, so what is productivity? So productivity is the art of maximizing your time and tasks within a reasonable time to accomplish and get more. So every non-profit needs to be productive. That's, you need to be able to achieve your goals. You need to be able to set targets for yourself and then achieve those targets. So we're going to go straight to some productivity tips. So what are productivity tips? These are things we do to manage time and increase our output. So as a non-profit leader, a volunteer, whatever you do, it could be in your personal life. There are certain tips or things you can do to be productive. So I'm going to share with you 4 productivity tips. So we're going to start with the first one, which is note taking. So to get more done, you need to take notes. As a non-profit, if you have a lot of goals to achieve, you have a lot of things you want to do, so many social changes you want to undertake, but you need to take notes of the things you want to do, because sometimes things get bulky and you might not know what to start with. So the first thing is to not burden your mind with all that needs to be done. So you write down what you need to do. So that is notes taking. So you need to take notes of every activity you do, everything you engage in, so you don't forget. So the second tip will be productivity. The second productivity tip I'm going to share is having a to-do list. Okay, so you have a non-profit. Say you send out food or you help people in Africa. So at the beginning of the year, you need to plan. At the beginning of January, say January 2021, you need to plan that. In January, we are organizing a fundraising campaign. So in February, we are sending out donations. In March, you are doing this. So you need to have a to-do list. You need to write down the things you need to do in form of a checklist. Then the next tip is particular for. Okay, so this is a file system. It has 43, so it's a 43 folder system. Then 31 for the days, and then 12 for the months. So you have a particular file. Because of technology, people don't use this anymore. You can create this from your to-do list app or whatever you should do. You used to use for your to-do list, but you can still keep the old system where you create folders. So you have 43 folders. Then I'll be doing an illustration on that in the later part of the presentation. So you have 43 folders, one for each day of the month. Then you have another 12 for each month of the year. So you have 12 months, then say 31 days. So when you want to send an email to someone on the 3rd of January, you put that in the 3rd of January folder, and you put it behind on top of the year folder, so that when you open that, you take that, today I'm supposed to send an email to this person, or I'm supposed to send a campaign out to this person. So this will help you maximize your time as well. So the last productivity tip is to store your inspirations. So you need to get a place to store your inspiration. So you could use an app to store that. You could use so many things to store inspiration. You go for seminars, you get ideas. You need to write them down. You need to store them. You need to keep them, because you might not need to attend to those things immediately. So you need to have a way to store those inspirations. All right, so now you've gotten some productivity tips. You know how to use it to do. You know that you need to take notes. So what are some of the tools that you can use in achieving these tips, or you can use to effect these tips that I'll just share with you? So I have basically 4 tools I use mostly, whether for business, personal life, or my NGO. So the first one is Evernote. So I'm going to share briefly on all the 4, then I'll do a bit illustration on how to use them. So Evernote is a tool that is used to capture, organize, and find information across multiple platforms. So you can store in links, you can take notes, you can write down articles in your Evernote. Then we have, okay, I think I'm going to do it. Once I make a description, I'll do a presentation on it. So let's go to, so this is how Evernote looks like. So say I want to take a note. So I'm coming from an event, Tech Tip Digest. So, and it's Wednesday, the time. So I can write down the note I have. Maybe I'm attending a session with Desire. So you write down your notes, then you save it. Also, you could have several notes. You could set reminders as well. So you can add reminders, then you can add notifications. So that means you're able to know that at this particular time, I'm supposed to attend to this I'm supposed to review this article, I'm supposed to review this, I'm supposed to do this and that. All right, so the next tip will be Trello. So I shared with you one tip, that is having a to-do list. So today is, let's say today's the 11th of November, you have a conference to attend. What are the things, some of the questions you need to ask? What are some of the things you need to do? Or within the day, what are some of the things you need to do? So you need to have an app that can help you do that. So there is Trello, which I use, and is very, very, very effective. I use it mostly for my NGO activities, for my personal lives, even for my work. So I use to manage my projects and everything. So this is Trello. So Trello works with boards. So you have a board for every project. You could have a board for every project. So, and then there are several templates you could use. So you don't need to start from scratch. So say you are running a government project. So you're an NGO running a government project. You don't need to start from scratch. You could just use one of the templates. So if it has to do with personal life, there are so many templates you could use to manage your activities. So I'm going to do an illustration. Okay, so let me just go through a bit. So we have the home workout organizer, then apartment search templates, book club. So you have a budget template on how to manage your finances or your funding or donations your organization receives. So let me just go try with this particular template. Okay, so this is how it works. So I'm organizing a project in Africa. Let's say I'm organizing a project in Ghana that I'm reaching out to schools. So what are the resources I need? So I keep note of my resources that I need. Then what are the objectives I need to achieve? What are the requirements for the project? Then we have meetings, some of the questions I need to ask, what I need to do, things that are pending. So it's about just adding them as cards. So this is a board, and every item on the board is a card. So I can add another card. So this card will be sending food to Africa. Okay, so, and you could add details to the card. You could set times, you could add checklists. So you could use this to manage your time, and you could also add members to a particular card so that you could work with people. So you could assign tasks right on the card, and they receive notification that this volunteer has been assigned this team member has been assigned this. So this is a very effective productivity tool. And then I think at the end of the presentation, I'll be sharing on they are all free tools to use, and then there are also packages for non-profits. So yeah, so I'll go back to my presentation. Then we have Pocket. So Pocket is a handy tool. So you browse the internet, there are certain links you see, there are certain websites you visit, but you might not have the time to go through them at the moment. So just you can use Pockets to save those links so that you can refer back to them. So it's a way of saving information that you see on the web. So for instance, so this is my Pocket list. So this is a website I visited that I wanted to read back. I didn't have the time to read, so I just saved them in Pocket. So let's say I visit a website like TechSoup. So I want to come back and be able to read the information I see here. So I could just right click in the browser, then I save it to Pocket. So I add a tag to it. So I'll say it's. So for instance, let's say you see an information on the web that TechSoup offers some subscription for non-profit to be able to learn online. So I can just save this later for later reading. So yeah. So the next will be Calendly. So Calendly is an application that you use to schedule meetings. So you don't just jump into meetings. As a non-profit leader, you need to organize meetings. So you need to have ways that that I'm meeting this person. So you don't need a personal PA to remind you that you have a meeting at this time, you have a meeting on these days. So people can easily book appointments with you based on your available days. So maybe you're available from Monday to Wednesday. On Thursdays you're not available. On Fridays you're not available. So you can use Calendly to schedule your availability so people can book appointment with you. So you just send them the link, then they look at the time slot in which you are available, then they can meet you. So I'm just going to do an illustration on that too. So for instance, this is Calendly. So I have event types, then I have event that people have scheduled with me. So someone has scheduled to meet me at 9:30 to 10, which is this meeting. So you can also just send out the link. So let me copy the link. So when anybody has this particular link, so they come here and able to know that Desiree is available from the 12th, 13th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 24th, and 28th. Then I select 25th. I want to meet Desiree on 25th. What time do I want to meet him? 30 minutes. So my availability is 30 minutes each. So I don't want to give people too much of my time. So that person wants to meet me at 9. Since I said I'm available, so he confirms the day. Then they provide their details, their location. So I have scheduled that they determine the location to meet me. So they fill in the details and they submit the info. Then I receive an email and also receive an email. So this easily helps you manage and maximize your time. All right, so that is it. So if you want to be very productive, you could use these tools, which is Evernote, Trello, Pocket, and Calendly. And then these tools are basically free. Trello has a paid subscription for advanced usage, but they offer a very huge discount for non-profits. So you can apply as a non-profit and be given a discount. For Pocket, Calendly, they also have certain donation for subscription for non-profits, or there is a reduced price for non-profits.
Desiree,
okay.
This is Jane, and I have a question. I am overwhelmed with my appointments and whatnot. Does Calendly have an alarm or something to tell you, like to give you a 5-minute warning or a 10-minute warning before a meeting starts?
Yes, please. Okay, so let me just do one illustration because of the time. I didn't want to go.
You're fine on time. You've got time.
Okay, so let's say I'm on a free subscription, so I'm using it for free. So I've set a review meeting. So okay, let me try so you set your available times. So people want to meet up with you. So as someone makes an appointment with you, you get a reminder in your email that you have an appointment with this person at this particular time. Like I created for this event, I had a reminder 30 minutes that I'm meeting this person at this location.
Okay, so it's an email. Okay, just wondered. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so the next thing is, okay, I'm going to finally share on some management tips. So some management tips that you can adopt as a non-profit, because for non-profits, time is very, very essential. Time is very, very essential. So what are some of the management tips that you can add because every non-profit leader is a manager. So you need to manage your non-profit, you need to manage your time. Okay, so the first thing is to get started. So the first step in managing your time is getting started. I want to do this from January to December 2021. The first thing is January 1st, you get started. We are reaching out to people, we are raising funding. So the first thing is for us to get started. When you say you don't start, it's nothing. But once you take the first step, that's the necessary step. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is to create. When you get started, you need to create a time study. So what's a time study? Say you can just keep a log, maybe from the time you wake up at, let's say you wake up at 5 a.m. Then from 5 a.m. to 5:30, what are you doing? So from 5 a.m. to 5:30, let's say I take breakfast. So you log, it's a way of logging your every second of your day. So whatever you do every day, you are logging it. You are just keeping track of what you do within your 24 hours. You sleep for 8 hours, you sleep for 6 hours, you log it. So when you wake up, you know that I spent this number of hours to sleep. So that means you log your time. All right, so after you've been able to study how you spend your time, then you're able to know how to adjust. So you know what is taking much of your time and what is not taking much of your time, and what you need to give more attention to, and what you need to reduce your attention on. So the next thing is to, now that you have, let's say you've logged your time that you spend 45 minutes on your breakfast. That's probably too much. So what can you do to reduce that time? So now you've logged your time. You know that within the week, I spent 45 minutes on my breakfast. So what can I do to make it 15? So you need to assess the problem area to see what facts might be taking a greater part of your time. So you need to assess your problem areas of, let's say this and this is taking my time. So I need to reduce it to 10. So within a few months, a few weeks, or a few days, you notice that you get to notice what is using too much of your time. Then you take measures to mitigate it. All right, so the next thing is to set clearer goals. So you set clear goals for your nonprofit. Every nonprofit needs goals because, without goals, there is no direction. So you don't have goals on what you need to do, then you don't have any direction. You don't know where you're going. You don't know. You end up doing things as and when they come by. Yeah. So you need to write down your goals. You need to set clear goals and then write them down. So that's how come now you know that I can use Evernote to take notes. So I write down my goals for 2021. I write them down. I take note of them. Then when you set your goals, what next? So the next step is to set objectives. So now you need to break down those goals into daily, weekly, and monthly objectives. So the goal for my foundation, STEM Rising Foundation, is in 2021 is to, let's say, reach out to 200 schools and then start STEM clubs in the schools. So that is my goal for 2021 for my non-profit, or that is one of my goals for 2021. Then the next step is, what do I do as a non-profit leader? I need to meet with my team. I need to meet with my volunteers and say, okay, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, we need to, if you are reaching 200 schools, then that means we could do, let's say, 20 schools, or 20 schools in a week or 20 schools in a month, so that we can be able to meet our yearly target. So I need to set up daily, weekly, and monthly objectives throughout the year, and always start your day the night before. So as a leader, your day before you start your day, before you wake up in the morning, you should have planned yesterday. So before you go to bed, you plan that this is what I'm doing. You write it, you do your that you have the night before, so that you know that, oh, within this day, I'm meeting this person at this location, I'm meeting this person at this location, I'm meeting this donor at this location, I'm meeting this organization at this location. So you have to do that the night before. Yeah. So, okay, I think that is all. If anyone has any questions, the person could share it.
Yeah, great presentation. I pulled your quote, always start your day the night before. You are so right. And if I do that, I am so much happier when I wake up in the morning. It's all there. Wow, what a great presentation. Some good chat. A lot of people using Evernote. I love Evernote. Yeah, and I loved that you used actually what you do. You didn't just say what we could do. You actually said, here's exactly how I use it. That is really helpful. I don't like presenters that just say, oh, use this. I like that you actually showed us, you learned this, you use this. So yeah, and I had never thought of Trello as a volunteer management tool. That was new to me. That was a good suggestion. Does anyone have any questions? I haven't really seen any in the chat, just lots of great tips. And oh, I never thought of that. A lot of good comments there. Gosh, thanks everybody. That was a really, I can't imagine the other sessions were better than that. That was really good. Yeah, and I would like for you to be my boss, Desiree, because you are a very organized person. So yeah, that was great. Wow. Fantastic presentation. Learned a lot. Nice presentation. Yeah. So I think we all need to walk away with that quote, always start your day the night before. And we've gotten some terrific tools on how to do that.